So after that match, extra time, we got beaten and we used to go back. And I think it was the Astro Hotel in Hillbrow that the function would be held, and awards, etc. And then you would go back to the train and catch the train and arrive back on Monday morning. A little worse for wear. So we lost that game, and then we played down in Durban, and we lost again the following year, which was 74. And that was the year that I joined Morris Soccer Club. And by then I was a centre half.
And what league were Morris playing in those days?
The Natal League.
The Premier League?
One down.
Okay.
One down from the Premier League. They'd been there for 23 years. And I remember Stan Milishetsky saying to us, boys, if you win on a Saturday, you drink free at the famous hotel on the corner of Pine Street and the Kalani Hotel. It was the year that Cold Duck had come out.
Cold Duck, Fifth Avenue, Cold Duck.
First Avenue, Cold Duck.
Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was first or fifth, but it was Cold Duck. And we practiced at Lee Park, which wasn't far away.
Yeah.
It was our home ground as well. It was a lovely ground. And that year became an absolute, just what a year. We never lost a game. We won the, I think it was the treble. And every Tuesday and Thursday we would go.
What year was that, 75?
74, 1974.
Okay, so I was 13, yeah.
And what a year. We went through to the Kalani every Tuesday and Thursday.
They had their prize givings there too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it had a wonderful hall.
Yes, it was a big hall. One of the biggest dance floors in Durban was at the Kalani discotheque.
Okay. I remember that hall, and we had an absolute ball. It was a year of good soccer. Titch was an amazing coach.
Titch Muscle.
Yeah, he used to sing to us in Italian. And Dennis Schrinwalter, very underrated player as well. He could really play. Anyway, to cut a long story short, we won the league and got promoted to the Premier League. And it was just an incredibly happy year, perhaps the greatest spirit that I've experienced in a side. And towards the end of the year, I had a visit from Malcolm MacDonald and Win Kitter. They were at Durban United. Yes. And they approached me and they said, we want
coaching manager.
Yeah, the reserve side. We want you to come and captain the reserve side. And see how far you can go with Durban United. And so, yeah, obviously a blow to Stan Milishetsky and Titch, who were marvellous. Stan generous to a point, and that the decision was made. And so I joined Durban United in 1975. And
when did your journey in the Currie Cup begin? When you first got selected? Because I'm not sure whether there's anybody that's more decorated than you are in terms of Currie Cups and South African Currie Cup appearances.
Yes, when I joined Durban United, they wanted me to sign professional forms, and I wasn't prepared to do it because I didn't want to lose my amateur status. For me, I wanted to make the Natal Currie Cup team, and if I signed professional, then I would be eligible to play in the Currie Cup because it was an amateur status. So I signed for United, but not professionally. I refused to sign those forms.
Was there money in those days?
Well, you know, the money was small. I think it was 9 rand a win, 5 rand a draw. As a
If you
young,
signed professional or
if
as an
you
amateur.
signed, yeah, if you signed professional.
So there were no salaries, there must have been basic.
There was for the recognised pros. They were in the side. British guys used to come out, and there were a lot of British guys in the first team, and I think the guys like Wynne and Malcolm MacDonald, and I played against Malcolm's Sunday League sides because I always played Sunday League as well, and he managed a side called Therapeutic. And always played against them. Those we were in the A division. Los Angeles became West End United, played for them. We had many wars against Therapeutic. And Malcolm saw something in me, and so he convinced me to join Durban United. And walked into the United setup, and they had assembled an array of young talent. Ian Harvey.
Do you have a picture here of that?
I do have a picture of the Durban United.
So we can get Lawrence Chellan, was he also in their team?
Lawrence was there, Davy Kershaw. There was just Ian Harvey. There was just such Craig Neves. I think Patrick Dayton's was there. Johnny McGregor. There was an array of youngsters that were coming through, and of course. There was also the seasoned professionals, guys like Ron McKinnon, our centre-half partner. Ron had played for Scotland 36, and he shared the centre-half partnership with me, with a guy called Dave Coles, and also Les Wendell. Les was in there as well. And then there was also Ian Philby who came out, so he had a couple of games. And
did he come out before Malcolm?
After Malcolm.
After Malcolm.
After Malcolm. I think he played for Leyton Orient. And so he came out and had quite a few games. But we had a terrific side. And we won the treble with that side. I've got a beautiful picture of it, wonderful year. Malcolm MacDonald and Wynne Gitto. The superb guys.
Kira Toscano was also involved in?
I think he was as a monsieur, correct. And I got picked for Natal as well. That was my first year. Ryan Scully was the captain, and we went up to
1975.
75. And we went up to play in Pretoria on Arcadia's ground. It was the main field.
Louis, explain to people who may not know nowadays the Currie Cup. What did the Currie Cup mean to players, to you in particular, and how did it fit in with the whole football system? Because nowadays there doesn't seem to be that same kind of stepping stone that there was in those days. So just explain briefly the Currie Cup, where it fitted into the whole system, please.
So Football Association of South Africa ran the amateur levels, the amateur body, and it was every young man's dream to make the Natal Currie Cup side. There were, I think, Natal under 14, under 16, under 19s, but it was your dream to play for the Natal side. And for me, without a doubt, more than being a professional, to play for your province and to make, because remember, there were so many amateur players in those days. It was incredibly well run. And, you know, just in, for instance, under 19 leagues, you had A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 10 teams in every league. And so there was this mass of, and in schools, in primary schools, all you had was soccer. Nowadays you've got rugby competing. And it was, as I've mentioned before, and every year you'd have the Currie Cup. Yes, there were professional teams, but let's say there were 16 professional teams, mainly with imported overseas players. And that's the way it was. And so for me, rather than playing professional, it meant everything to play for Natal. And so in 75 I got my opportunity and didn't play much in the Currie Cup because I was a newcomer. I had the odd half, etc. And we ended up winning the Currie Cup. We shared it with Northern Transvaal. And, but that just...
When you say shared it, what happened?
I think we played extra time and there was no more score and there wasn't penalties in those days. So we shared it. A wonderful team, and that just whet my appetite even more. And that Natal team was a bit of an aging side, a very good side, and so with 1975, at the same time, I captained the Durban Sunday League side because I was still an amateur, even though I was playing for United. And I remember United had a very important game, and I played in that. And they paid for me to fly up to meet the Sunday League side on the Saturday night. And we were playing at the Rand Stadium.